Welcome to the podcast Living by Oak Values. My name is Robert, and I host this podcast with my friend Gary. Join us today as we dive deep and share meaningful stories and discuss these values that help shape our lives. We will explore how we use these values to guide us through our life, influencing our decisions, relationships, and raising our kids. We are embracing a journey of personal growth and navigating our own paths. We are committed to living by these values and passing them on to our children. We are thrilled to have you here and can't wait to share our latest episode. Whether you're a longtime listener or just now discovering us, welcome. Join our Facebook community, Northman Legacy Crew. Feel free to introduce yourselves in the comments and let us know what topics you're most interested in hearing about. Check us out at northmancoaching.com to sign up with your email for behind-the-scenes sneak peeks. Sign up with your email for behind-the-scenes sneak peeks and exciting updates. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Happy listening. So today's talk is about devotion. And me and Gary decided we will talk about devotion, comparing it more or less with another value that y'all have heard recently called commitment. All right, Gary, what is devotion?
Devotion is defined as a feeling of strong or constant regard and dedication to someone or something, an act of giving to a cause.
Versus commitment is, again, defined as the agreement or pledge to do something in the future.
Devotion is an important value for several reasons. Commitment, resilience, building relationships, motivation, purpose and meaning, positive impact, emotional depth, and spiritual growth. For all of you listeners out there, we've discussed all of those in previous podcasts, but we will touch base on them. With the exception of emotional depth, we have not discussed yet. So we're going to go a little in depth with the emotional depth. So devotion is more emotional than commitment. If you're devoted, you have that lovey-dovey feeling in your heart, your gut, your soul, versus commitment has no emotional ties. You can go to work, and if you don't love your job, it's a commitment. Or you can love something, or you can love your job, and you can be devoted to it. But if you're devoted, your heart is invested.
Yeah, and so we decided to do commitment and devotion because they are kind of related, but have distinct meanings and implications. And we're going to kind of run through the breakdown for y'all, starting with commitment, a promise or decision to dedicate oneself to a course, a goal, a relationship, and often involves a sense of obligation or responsibility.
And devotion, on the other hand, implies a deep love or loyalty towards someone or something. It often encompasses a passionate and enduring attachment that goes beyond mere obligation.
And for the emotional involvement, commitment, it is more like it exists without emotional ties. A person can be committed to a job or project, professional responsibilities, and they don't feel emotional connection.
Well, on the other hand, devotion is typically driven by strong feelings and emotional investment. It suggests a willingness to go above and beyond because of genuine care or passion. So the emotional depth that I talked about earlier, it enriches emotional connections, allowing for deeper understanding and empathy in relationships. And the few steps involved with this is going to be awareness, complexity, empathy, introspection, expression, and resilience. So the emotional depth, the awareness of emotional depth is, number one, you need to be aware of what emotions you are feeling. And complexity is with layered feelings where you might feel happy and nostalgic at the same exact time, or sad but yet hopeful. So you're going to have layered feelings. Empathy is your ability to connect with other people and their feelings. Introspection is the ability to reflect on these feelings and emotions. So far, we can now reflect on our emotions and our feelings. We can connect with others based on their feelings. We understand what it means to have layered feelings, and we are aware of our emotions. Once we have all that down, then we have to be able to express our emotions, and that's expression. And then after that comes resilience, and that means that after we can express what we're feeling and have the complexity and the empathy, now we have to learn from our experiences, and that's resilience.
We should have done a whole podcast just on that.
Well, it's a lot.
That was actually beautiful. I couldn't have done that. I don't even know what half those words mean.
I had to look them up. I'm glad because I was starting to pull it out of my ass a little bit, and I was like, I got to stop.
No, you did good. I was like, we should have done a whole episode on emotional depth, which we may
Well,
end up doing
we might do
something.
someday.
Yeah.
Whatever. Who knows? All right. So
Holy
you're going to
cow.
roll with motivation right now?
I found a quote from Debbie Ford. It says, "Devotion begins at home, inside your own awareness."
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't actually have one, to tell you the truth.
Okay. I would say, yes, devotion begins inside your own awareness. If you are unaware of a feeling or something along those lines or your emotions, then you're just making a commitment.
Mm.
So once you are aware of what you're feeling, then it can become devotion. And this episode is brought to you by Northman Coaching and their Oak Value Cards. Are you looking for a little boost in motivation and self-improvement? If so, then check out our Oak Value Cards and empower yourself with our motivational and insightful core value cards. Enter promo code DEVOTION for 10% off of your next order.
All right, commitment. It kind of stems from practical considerations such as duty, expectations, social norms. Those are the things that motivate people, or especially if you're committed. Those are the motivations. It's like, oh, it's just expected for me to do that.
You got paycheck.
Paycheck, yeah, yeah. You're doing it because of a paycheck, exactly.
And on the other hand, we have devotion, which is often motivated by love or passion or a personal desire to contribute or to support. So that's where the emotional side comes in. So it's not for the paycheck. It's not for the duty or expectations. It's because you feel love or you feel a passion for it.
The other quote we found by Mahatma Gandhi is, "Without devotion, action and knowledge are cold and dry and may even become shackles."
So I want to talk about that for a second, because when we came up with that, when you found that quote, it didn't make sense to me. And it still doesn't make 100% sense unless you take the devotion that we're talking about and talk about that emotional depth. So
exactly.
Instead of without devotion, you could say without awareness, without empathy, without the ability to express yourself.
Without emotion.
Yes. Then your action and knowledge are cold and dry. So
well,
that hits a lot deeper. Like it hits me. I don't know. That hits me real good when I change devotion to like awareness or expression, Anyway, so the next part is duration and stability. Why don't you go with that first part there?
Really? You just took my words.
I don't. So let's start again. Let's do 4. I'm sorry. I didn't know what was going on. You were quiet for a second, and I didn't know what I was doing, so I just started yapping.
Bringing us to the next point: duration and stability. Commitment is more transactional and may change based on circumstances or conditions. A good example is your job might change, for better opportunity may arise, or situation changes, moving across country, teleworking. That's a good example.
And on the other hand, we have devotion, which is generally more enduring and steadfast. It often persists even in challenging situations because of the emotional bond that's involved. Instead of the job, this is a relationship that you might be seeking, or something that you have a passion for, a calling for, something that tugs on your heart. That's what this is.
Good example of a committed employee may do their job, may do their responsibilities, meet all the deadlines, but they don't feel a deep connection to that company. And they may just be there just to get a paycheck.
Yeah. Or when the next big check opportunity comes along, they're gone. They're going to be with the competitor. And a devoted partner instead of employee. Let's start that again. Why is yours employee, mine's partner?
I don't know. You may need to change it.
If you change yours to a committed partner,
ooh, okay,
they may fulfill their job responsibilities, like make my dinner, wash my clothes, buy tomorrow, but there's no connection to the relationship instead of the company. But a devoted partner, they may prioritize their relationship.
So examples, and we're going to discuss this a little bit. A committed partner is one who may fulfill their responsibilities, and they may meet the demands, but they don't feel that deep connection in the relationship.
Versus a devoted partner, they may prioritize their relationship and actively seek to nurture it, driven by love and affection.
What do you see as the biggest difference between the two?
A devoted partner has been married for one day. A committed partner has been married for 15 years.
Actually, I see it differently.
Okay. How do you see it?
A committed partner, the nice guy who says, hey, I'm in a marriage just because I'm in a marriage, versus a devoted partner is sitting there going, hey, I love being married to this person and I'm actively going to seek how to make it better.
Okay.
Because when I read that line and it says, actively seeking to nurture, driven by love and affection, a devoted partner wants to seek, wants to learn, wants to better themselves, wants to better the relationship.
So what is this partner devoted to? Is he devoted to the other partner or is devoted to themselves?
It could be both, could it not?
It seems more selfish. Like it's in a good way. Like it's about wanting to learn more about me, wanting, more me.
So here's the conundrum.
Mm-hmm.
What if you have one that is devoted and one that is committed?
I don't think that would last very long because the energies involved you would clash. If you are actively trying to learn and understand your partner, and the only thing they're doing is meeting deadlines, if they're making dinner and washing the dishes, or I don't know, giving you sex once a week or once a month, you can feel the coldness, I think, in that. So, and then if you have the ability to express yourself, you would ask questions. So in summary, while both commitment and devotion involve dedication, commitment is more about obligation and responsibility, whereas devotion is rooted in deep emotional connection and loyalty.
I'm not going to lie to you, brother. That one wasn't half bad.
No, I think it went good.
It's going to be a little short one, but it's not half bad.
But what's it at right now?
I don't know.
We had an argument earlier about something and we didn't put it in. And I forget what the argument was about. I don't know what it was about. Oh, and you were not recording, were you?
No, I wasn't. It was about the intro, where we were talking about we are embracing the journey of personal growth, navigating our own past. We are committed to living by these values and passing them on to our children. Are we committed to living by these values, or are we devoted to living by these values?
Are you going to put this in the thing or no?
I don't care. Yeah, put it in the thing.
That's your world.
I'm asking you.
Yeah, do it.
No, I'm just saying, talking right now. Oh, are we committed to living by our values or passing them on to our children? Are we devoted?
So before we say pass them on to our children, are we committed to living them or devoted? I'm devoted to the values that mean the most to me. But as I told you, like I've lived every value in that box so I can experience every value and understand it better, so I could assist other people in help in finding their values. So the values that are not near and dear to me, I'm committed to living by those values. But the ones that mean the most, I am devoted to living those values. And those are the ones that I pass off to my daughter. It gets passed off.
You just went down a rabbit hole now.
I know. That gets passed off naturally though. Like I don't knock the other values. I don't actively live them. So I can't lead by example with every other value, but I don't want to tell her that there's no other values except for the ones that mean anything to me. She's been made aware of all the values that are in this deck and more. And she also knows which ones I'm devoted to, and those are the ones that I teach her. Are you devoted or are you committed?
I think it's more devotion on my part.
To all of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we used in that example, devotion is nurturing and learning. What are we doing right now but nurturing and learning each individual value?
Yeah. True. And I said that as I went through the box, I lived every one of them so I could understand them. And doing the podcast, I'm actually taking my understanding to a new depth, like actually talking about it with someone else, which would be you, and really diving deep into it. It's like I'm another layer or two deeper than when I first lived every value in that deck. So, yeah.
So, like, even this value, devotion, I thought it was living for God. Oh, you're devoted your life to living for God. But what if you use this in everything you did? What if you put devotion, everything you did, not just showed up to work just because you're committed to work? What if you showed up with the emotional devotion to get it done? Anyways, so yes, I think I'm devoted to the cards because I want to learn more, to nurture, and to get these in my life.
I agree with you, but I put certain ones on a pedestal, I guess. The ones that mean the most are the ones that I am actively living. And if you were around me enough, you would see that I live those values, or you would learn from me with those, versus the ones that I'm still learning, obviously through the podcast and everything, but I don't actively live them.
But are you committed to living by these values? Are you devoted to living by these values?
Well, based on the definition that you just gave her a minute ago, I would say I'm devoted.
So here we go. The question is we are now devoted to living by these values and passing them on to our children.
Okay. Yeah. So did we just change the whole intro?
Yeah. Actually, I'm doing it right now.
Let's change our names. No. Wait, hold up. Leave the old intro.
All right.
And then for everyone after that, so that this is the intro, this is the one that people can hear if it ever means anything to anybody. They can hear the old intro, and at the end of the episode, we talk about how we've just transformed.
Yeah, I'm going to leave this in, and then the next episode is
every episode from here out
is going to be we are devoted to living by these values. Yes.
In fact, that's a good question for a podcast, for a Facebook post.
If you would like to go further or deeper on the topics of devotion or maybe commitment, reach out to us. We want to know you and hear your powerful story. Chat or connect with us by booking your free session on our website, northmancoaching.com. And folks, that's a wrap on today's episode. And of course, thank you all out there for listening. We are so glad you could join us today. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, Living by Oak Values. And if you feel generous, leave us a review. It really helps us out and keeps these conversations going. For more updates and exclusive content, join our Facebook group, Northman Legacy Crew, or follow us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and visit our website, northmancoaching.com. We'll be back next week with another exciting episode that you don't want to miss. Until then, keep discussing your values, embrace the journey, take care, and stay authentic.